There's some information that we're going to go through that I know can help you personally and also your small businesses. I combined this presentation into two things, for the personal side as well as small businesses. So today we're going to go over a very small list of secrets that will forever change the way that you use the internet. And we're going to give you 17 different things you can do to help protect your family from the internet security issues and the cyber criminals. And for the business owners, we're going to give you 13 different things you can do to help protect your small business from cyber attack. And who am I? Well, we're going to skip through a lot of this pretty fast because Cindy already told you. So there's the CIA piece, and then Department of Defense. The other thing is when Microsoft Server came out in 1994, bam, I was on that because that's where I thought it was going to be. And I wrote my first book, How to Find an IT Company You Can Trust. My company works with small businesses, and we obviously have a cybersecurity and an emphasis on disaster recovery. Now, this is where it gets interesting, but before we get into this, 500 million accounts compromised, email addresses, logins, passwords, people's mother's maiden names, security answers to questions. Yahoo, that's the culprit. 500 million, guys, 500 million. And this happened in 2014. It's almost 2017, and now they're telling us. Okay, maybe that gets some attention. This is the key, I think, to the entire presentation. It's called your security and your privacy, and the fact you don't have any. If you've been reading this, would you actually allow, if somebody says there's a free, this is free for you. There is no such thing as a free lunch. We were taught that, right, when we were younger? Okay, it's very true. So if you were to sign up for something for free and says that, hey, when you upload, submit, store, send, and receive content, you give X, that's the company, and those we work with, a worldwide license to use, host, store, reproduce, modify, create derivative works, communicate, publish, publicly perform, display, and I love this last word, distribute such content. Does that sound like you have any privacy? No. Substitute X for the following. Google, anything they have, including your Gmail. Facebook, anything you put out there. Yes, I know they have privacy settings, but this is called terms of service. The first time you signed up for Google, the first time you signed up for Facebook, Snapchat, Pinterest, you name it, you had to sign a little checkbox that says you read it. Well, some of these things are 58,000 words long, longer than Hamlet. We're not going to read that. I spent 8 hours going through all of the terms of service for these companies that we were just mentioning. And they did a really cool job. So basically, they would have their main document that would reference another document, that would reference another document, that would reference. Sometimes it was 5, 6 levels deep where you finally got to this wording. And it was really interesting. Almost every one of them had wording that looked just like this. They would use a worldwide license. That was one of the things. And distribute. It was there every single time. No privacy. Gmail, they can look at it anytime they want, they can modify it, they can delete it, they can give it to anybody. Now, who cares? So they give it to anybody. Okay, well, here's what's going on. People don't know this. There's what they call a data broker. So all of these companies that I just mentioned, these organizations, are selling your information to a data broker. There's a number of them in the United States, one's in Arkansas. And so basically, they have these, look at that, 23,000 servers, 50 trillion data transactions. It's getting all of your information. And 96% of us are in their databases, and then they sell the information to the top banks, the telecom industries, and the insurers. But here's the bad part. They have zero regulations on who they can sell to. Some of them, most of them probably honest, right? And they probably see the ISIS terrorists come in and want to know things, and they probably say request denied, but some of them don't. And so if the ISIS person wants to come in and get a list of whatever so that they can do whatever they want with it, some of these guys are going to give it to them. Guess who one of the biggest clients are? of these data brokers? National Security Agency. Our own government goes to these data brokers to find out information about you guys. Now let's talk about the privacy in the federal government. This is another thing people don't understand. So when I'm talking to small business owners and we're deciding whether they need to move their operation 100% to the cloud, that means not in their building anymore. The first thing I tell them, we tell them the pros and cons so that they can make a decision. This, in my opinion, is the biggest con. They can move their data out to another provider, and then that provider, if the federal agents want to come in and look at it, they can, and then the federal agents can direct that provider, oh, and by the way, you can't tell them that we were here looking at their information. A lot of people say I don't have anything to hide. Personally, I don't want anybody looking at my business information out in the cloud. So you have to make a business decision on whether you want to move. There's a lot of good advantages, but you have to know this, and a good reputable company is going to make sure you know this, but most of them don't, so they don't tell you. So here, guys, I had like five slides full of things that will blow you away, okay? Like I say, I had to cut it back. So I just got some of the big ones. There's 180,000 cyber spies attacking the U.S. They execute 41% of the cyber attacks in 108 nations, go after people looking for trade secrets, manufacturing, let's say, public utilities like electrical grids and stuff like that, trying to figure out how to cripple them. In 2013, this one I cannot believe. Blows me away that Google, hey, we love and trust that company, they let 42,000 apps get into their Google store that we go to on our phone and say, download this app, that had spyware in it. Well, of course, the one that most people know about is the flashlight app, right? So you install the flashlight app. I haven't done it in a while because I've never put it on the phone anymore. And it says, I need access to your contacts. You're a flashlight app. What do you need my contacts for, right? No. So they're going to send your information out to somebody. Okay? Well, yeah, in 2014, there were 4 million phone malware, and most of it was 99% were targeting Androids. And then in 2014, phones started allowing hackers to access user data at the business end. So they would get into your phone, which would allow them to get into the corporate network. And then this one is big, and it's true. Hackers can get into your machine, and they can turn your camera on or your microphone on, and you won't ever know it. The light won't even come on. Okay? So put a piece of tape over or put the cover back on the microphone, on the camera when you're done using it. It's true. And then right now we know that mobile devices are IT security's weakest link, period. This is big, guys. Ransomware. Ransomware is happening. It's on the rise. In fact, look what just happened as of September 21st. Mamba got released. That was 2 days ago. Mamba is destroying the world right now because it will destroy your hard drive. 100%. You will not be able to use your hard drive. It doesn't just encrypt your files so you can't get them. It destroys your hard drive access. And a little screen comes up when you first boot your machine, and it says, enter our encryption key. Oh, by the way, get a hold of us. We'll charge you $600, and we'll let you enter your encryption key so that you can keep running. Okay? Now, this is happening through what we call a phishing attack. And basically, all that says is somebody sends you an email. It looks like it's from your CEO. But then they want you to do something. It doesn't quite make sense. Like, for instance, the biggest example was, Cindy, I want you to send a list of all the employees and their social security numbers because I'm off-site and I'm having to work with the federal government for some reason. It's like, yeah, right, sure, You want me to, over the internet, send that information. So you have to use your brain and say, does this look legit, right? The federal government sends you something. We all know the IRS never talks to you through the internet, through an email, okay? But those are the kind of things we're looking for, and if you click on it or you follow the links, then you can infect your machine. And that's the way this one is coming in right now. Spam, that's the other thing. It's still one of the biggest drivers of breaches. Again, we have to be intelligent when spam comes in. Stop it Put something in place to stop it and vaporize the ones that are bad before they ever get to you. Okay, that's the suggestion. So what can we do? So hopefully I've scared the crap out of you guys right now so that you'll take some action.